Welcome to this presentation on affordances of shape-changing interfaces and information perspective on transformability and movement. This work is done together with my co-authors, Majken, Kirkegaard, Rasmussen, and
my name is Johan Trettvik. Let's begin this with a small exercise. Imagine you are at the cinema and need to wash your hands. You go to the bathroom and see this strange water faucet. As you approach the sink, the faucet suddenly springs to life and snakes out towards your hands. What do you see, feel, and expect in this situation? What's the experience here? Now you let the water faucet splash water on your hands, and as you reach for the soap, the faucet suddenly curls up and awake your hands, or so it seems at least. Things coming to life is a mysterious experience for most of us. It raises questions about the thing's animacy and confronts our usual experience of the world. Now you are in a museum and you're getting tired. You need to sit down and you look around for a bench. You find one, but guests are already sitting there. No matter, you think, you sit down on the edge to rest your weary legs, keeping your social distance, of course. But as you sit down, the seat suddenly begins to incline and you slide slowly towards the middle. You look at the other bench guests and see that they also slide towards the middle. What is happening here and how would you feel here? Being acted on by things that are supposed to be still are a strange and for some disturbing experience. How could you have perceived that this bench would be one that tried to bring you together with others, that this was a kind of a social bench that did not accept your understanding or need for personal space? The world can be a mysterious place, and sometimes the designer wants the design to be mysterious. But all too often this is unintentional and leads to the users of the design to become confused or frustrated even. Affordances are often used as a core concept in SIGCHI in general and shape-changing interfaces in particular. SIGCHIs offer something unique, and affordances is a useful term for articulating the qualities of these new interfaces. It is often treated as a standalone concept, leaving the researcher unsatisfied with its explanatory power, thus seemingly leading to a need for expanding the concept with new qualifiers to articulate the particular kinds of affordances of SIGCHIs. This has unfortunately led to a struggle with an sort of over-conceptualization around the core concept of affordances, where the same expansion of the concept means different things and different expansions mean the same.
in particular, the notion of dynamic affordances has gained traction in the field of shape-changing interfaces. But we find that there are at least three problems in relation to the current use of the term. First of all, most research on dynamic affordances does not provide a clear definition of the term, nor discuss how dynamic affordances are different from existing definitions of affordances. Secondly, the notion typically draws upon a rather narrow conceptualization of affordances and most often conceptually conflates communication, information, and affordance. Finally, third, dynamic affordances is mainly used as an analytic concept, and it's not clear how it can inform design. So in this paper we ask, is there really a need for inventing new concepts, and does shape change really challenge Gibson's notion of affordances?
The short answer is no. The core proposition of this paper is that the emergence of shape-changing interfaces does not call for additional qualifiers when it comes to affordances, but rather an enriched conceptualization which can be found through revisiting James Gibson's work. We do not only need the tip of the iceberg, we need the whole iceberg, so to speak. Secondly, we illustrate how SIGCHI often deploy certain design strategies to provide information regarding affordances of SIGCHIs. In this way, we illustrate how an elaborate theoretical foundation for affordances of SIGCHI can inform the design of future shape-changing interfaces. We as humans and living animate beings are active perceivers of our environment, perceptually learning about the things that are important for us. The learning is only possible by picking up information in the environment. And this information specifies what we can do with the world, that is, it specifies its affordances. To get under the hood of this concept of information, we use Gibson's distinction between animate and inanimate objects. This leads to a distinction between information of the possible transformability of an object, for example, moving it around in space, turning it, bending it, smashing it, and other kinds of behavior we do on the object or with the object, and the movement of the object as it, for example, approaches us, turns around, leaves, wobble, lurches, bends, or rolls. Information about the behavior that specifies the character or animacy of the object or organism.
Based on this understanding of affordances, we revisit scholarly SCIs to identify how they make use of different strategies to provide information that specifies their ability to change shape in terms of both transformability and movement. Regarding transformability, we can see how they make use of different strategies for providing information that specify the ability to transform. And we outline 4 strategies as they're found in scholarly SCIs, including structure, material, actuation mechanisms, and form. Considering the example of line form, we illustrate how, through speculative redesigns, how the form can be used to provide information regarding its ability to transform its shape, in contrast with the top right picture of the covered line form. From the scholarly HCI examples, we also see how designers often take advantage of common well-known objects and how they've learned to pick up, and how we have learned to pick up a range of different types of information from everyday objects, specifying that they can transform shape in different ways. Here we see examples of the use of structure and material as strategies for specifying information regarding transformability. Regarding movement, we also suggest explanations to why objects are perceived in special ways. An animate object is more unpredictable than an inanimate one. Self-initiated movement often specifies a certain level of agency, or sentiency can also provide information about special characteristics of a thing which is not found in more inert objects. As an example, the ripple thermostat uses self-initiated movement as well as the trajectory of its movement in and out to specify the animacy of the object. In conclusion, as SCIs emerge as a new type of interface, the concept of affordance has attracted attention as a gateway to conceptualize the possibilities for action. This paper suggests that including Gibson's wider conception of affordances can serve to alleviate the current conceptual conflation surrounding the term in HCI, as can be seen from a plethora of qualifiers added to the term affordances and a general lack of definitions and theoretical foundations. Designing HCIs from the perspective of affordance implies focusing on how we perceive meaning as affordances and what we attend to when learning about them. In this paper, we suggest that the core concept of information is vital in understanding affordances and in designing for them, in the sense that we need to design for information pickup regarding, in particular, SCI's ability to transform its shape and to move more or less autonomously. Based on this wider conceptualization, we revisit scholarly HCIs and map out different strategies that designers can deploy when designing for information pickup. Finally, based on scholarly HCI research prototypes, we illustrate how we can draw upon well-known phenomena in everyday objects when designing for future shape-changing interfaces. We consider the ongoing discourse as a fruitful discussion regarding how affordances can become an operational and practical concept, driving further design and research in HCIs in particular, and design and HCI more generally. Thank you for your attention.